think everything's learning experiences, and failures are part of experiences. So everything that I've learned in the past and I've done is what I've learned, that, and I should be where I exactly am right now. So I really wouldn't want to change anything back then, because it could create a whole slew of events that would lead to a whole bunch of changes right now. So I wouldn't give myself advice back then. I would just let things play out as they had. And I'm very happy and grateful and fortunate to be where I am today. And that's what matters to me.
Just on your past, speaking about your past, can you tell us a little bit about what your life was like before you got involved in the world of, cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, certainly. So I grew up as a computer person. I was born in the mid 70s, and it was right with the dawn of the personal computing age. And when my dad bought home our first computer in the early 80s, I was hooked. So computers have always been a big part of my life. Before the internet, I was on modems, communicating with other computers on BBS boards, and I was doing graphic design and HTML programming, developing websites in the early 90s, before the internet, right at the dawn of the internet. So always been into computers. I went to school for business. So my dad was an entrepreneur, and I decided to go in school for business. So I had I ran a few businesses before that, and I worked in the family business in manufacturing in the 2000s. And so when the financial crisis hit, I started studying economics and really understanding what had happened there. So there was a combination of technology, entrepreneurship, economics that really created a perfect storm for me when I heard of Bitcoin in 2012. I dabbled in some gold and silver back then in 2011. But I was really looking for what I really wanted to do. I'd done really well with the real estate that I'd had. I'd had a few decades of business experience now with some other companies I had run, and it was just almost like waiting there for me to hear about Bitcoin. And that was just kind of the launching point for me to say, it's now time. I have the experience now. I have the skills. I have the skills that maybe I didn't have back when the internet was launching. So I couldn't really utilize what was going on there to really. I knew what was happening there with the democratization of information, but I wasn't really old enough yet, and didn't have the experience and tools in my tool belt and able to capitalize on where the internet had started there. But in 2012, it was just a perfect timing for me, and a perfect technology and perfect idea that Satoshi brought forward. And I just jumped in head first and started building out a community and a network globally, locally, because I felt that was the best way to really become a center of gravity for what was happening in the space. And traveling around the world and representing Canada and speaking engagements at conferences and building my global network. And it was eventually that community building that I did that I think led to the Ethereum growth. And it's where I met Vitalik Buterin when I set up the Toronto Bitcoin meetup groups in 2012. He was one of the first attendees there, and setting up a wallet company in 2013. And Vitalik was helping me there, and getting to know Charles Hoskinson and getting to know Joseph Lube and different people that it was that community building that I think that led to Ethereum. And then it was the community building that Ethereum did that led to its growth globally, and led to the developer mindset and the developer growth and community that Ethereum's had is the community building that existed back then, and people coming together. And so, computers has always been a part of my life, and I love for economics and I love for businesses and growing. Now my focus is on serving and giving back, and how I can help the world with my problem solving capabilities to solve larger problems is what I want to be focusing on. And this is where I'm trying to say I'd like to go beyond blockchain and beyond the crypto space to be known as a problem solver that's able to take the tools that I've built and processes and principles that I feel that I've put together in order to help tackle larger problems that may have aspects of blockchain needed, but that's just a tool in the tool belt. And there's a lot of other ways and things that I can do to help give back to the world and be in service of the world. And that's really where my focus is right now.